Welcome to the Settle for More podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Wright, and I have designed this space for you. Yay, you, the woman who is ready to walk out on her fears, step into her dreams, and own her power by shifting her mindset from feeling not enough to taking action and becoming more than enough whilst settling for more. Just wanted to give you a heads up that this recording is actually a part of my sip and set session. So I decided to make it into a podcast just so those of you who are not on Instagram can definitely enjoy it as well. So enjoy. Here is our thought upon which we will build our conversation today, because as you know, it's a conversation, right? So we want to make sure that we know what we're talking about. There's a topic and we're not just rambling. Alrighty, here is your thought. I am now receptive to the idea that a spiritual master is a master of self. I am now receptive to the idea that a spiritual master is a master of self. Oftentimes when we think about leadership, we think about growing and developing. The aspect that we sometimes forget to focus on, work on, talk about, even acknowledge or even develop is the whole spiritual aspect. Because sometimes it's a connotation that's attached with that word spirituality. But we all are spiritual beings. We all have an inner compass. We're all guided by something, by a belief in something, whether it be a higher power, whether it be the Holy Spirit, whether it be Jesus, whether it be God, whatever that inner guidance is. We want to label that this morning as your spirituality, right? It's that inner wisdom, that inner voice that you listen to. It's that thing that anchors you, right? In moments of fear, in moments of doubt. It's that solid foundation, that inner belief system, that inner core, that inner compass. And in order for you to be able to become a true self-leader, you must look at the spiritual aspect of it and master that side of you. So today you're about to receive a master's degree in spirituality. Sounds amazing. What you're about to learn will carry you through any situation that life brings your way. Sounds promising, right? Let's get into it. Once you have mastered today's lesson, you will have everything you need to realize everything that you are, because it begins at the core. And that is where spirituality comes from. That is where it resides. And that is where it is housed inside, within you. Okay? So here is everything that you are. Here is what we're going to be talking about today. We're talking about your divinity. We're talking about your nobility. We're talking about your presence in life as a gift to humanity. And that will be so evident, people will want to know you. They will want to be just like you because of what you're going to be projecting into the world. The lesson may seem very simple, but to truly master it will definitely take a lifetime, which means that we're all a work in progress. We're growing, we're developing. There is never, ever a final stop or a final destination, because life is always throwing lessons at us for us to work through. There'll always be situations for us to go through and to grow through, right? So mastering this whole thing will definitely take a lifetime. Here's the good thing. You are on your time. So take all the time you need to master this. A master knows that rushing will lead to absolutely nowhere. So if you're ready for the lesson, your key to freedom, joy, and peace, drop a 1 in the comment. And make sure that you have your pen, your paper, and you are ready to take notes. Good morning, Juanita. And good morning, Unique. And you're ready to take notes. Here is the lesson this morning. Quite simple. Know yourself. See yourself. Accept yourself. And self-leaders, Be yourself. Thank you, Kimberly. Know yourself. See yourself. Accept yourself. And be yourself. No matter what you may be faced with in life, know yourself. No matter what someone may do to you or against you, see yourself. No matter how many times you try and fail or fail to try, accept yourself. No matter whose company you are in or what they have the ability to give or take from you, self-leaders, be yourself. And for some reason, if you are tempted to believe you cannot develop the mastery of these lessons, you might want to try this one. It is to trust yourself. Knowing yourself means know what you stand for, know what you want, know who you are at your core, what makes you tick, what makes you sing, what makes you laugh, what makes you cry. Take some time to get to know you, right? See yourself. See yourself for who you are. Oftentimes, we're waiting for someone else to hold the mirror up and to tell us what they see when they see us. Just for today, my question to you is examine when you look in the mirror, when you examine the different aspects of your life, what are you seeing? Be willing to hold that mirror up and to take a good look at yourself and see yourself for that amazing, awesome individual that you are. Because when you do, you no longer depend on another person to see you. When you see yourself with the qualities that you have, when you see yourself with the strengths that you have, when you see yourself with the opportunities that life has provided for you that you're working on, when you acknowledge what the threats may be if you don't work on those qualities, you take full accountability and ownership because you are seeing yourself. You know your strengths, you know your flaws, you know what you're great at, you know what you want to work towards. Be willing to see that, all of you, perfect with all your imperfections. Hold that mirror up and see yourself. Accept yourself. Accept yourself for exactly who you are. A woman who is on a mission to become a better version of herself. A woman of herself. A woman who knows that she will fall. A woman who knows that she will fail. A woman who understands that she will also succeed. A woman who understands that when you fall sometimes, it gives you the opportunity to grab onto something and to pick yourself up. A woman who understands that failure says not this, but something else. A woman who understands that no one can take anything from you unless you are open to giving it to them. A woman who understands that there is more. A woman who understands that sometimes you may appear to be okay. A woman who understands that I have fears, I have doubts, I have insecurities, and I'm willing to accept that about myself. A woman who is willing to be herself. A woman who is not becoming a human pretzel and morphing and changing because society has said this is how you should be. A woman who will walk into a space and own that space without aggression, without confrontation, because she's so confident in who she is that when she walks into a room, she exudes that without seeking attention. Be you. Be that bold, beautiful you. Because oftentimes we start to change and we morph into so many different people and so many different personalities that even ourselves become confused, thus preventing us from knowing ourselves, from seeing ourselves and accepting ourselves. Are you willing today to just be and allow others to do the same? Be who you are at your core, sis. Whatever rocks your boat, go out into the world and own that. Be you, the true you. But in order for you to do that, you must trust yourself. Trust yourself that you will know what to do, when to do it, with whom to do it, and most importantly, why you're doing it. In order to master all that, you must be willing to sit with self. You must be willing to go deep within yourself. You must be willing to do some introspection. You must be willing to do some work in the mirror. Take a look at the girl in the mirror and start with you. So if you're tempted to believe that you cannot develop the mastery of these lessons, trust yourself. Trust that you can really do it. Trust that yourself will provide you with the tutoring that you need. You are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole, and the answers lie within. In the Bible, it says the kingdom of heaven is within. And so maybe today is the day that we make that decision to stop looking outside of ourselves for answers that we already have within ourselves. Because when you do, you are devaluing and discrediting the things that you know to be true about you. No one knows you like you, self-leader. But you must be willing to master the spiritual aspect of you, to become one with your spirituality, your divinity, your nobility, your humanity, and how you're showing up in the world and what you're giving to the world. Maybe it is time to be the authentic you. My question to you this morning is, who are you? Who are you at your core? What are your values? What is your life purpose? Why are you here? What is the impact that you want to have in the world? What are the things that you need to learn? What are the things that you need to unlearn? Who are the people that you need to invite into your space? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you laugh? What makes you cry? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Because when you don't, then you will start falling for all the labels that individuals have placed on you. And some individuals have made it their life's mission to label us, to define us, to tell us who we are. And if you are not sure of who you are, of what you stand for, what your values are, of what your life's purpose and mission is, of the impact that you want to have in the world, be it great, be it small, be it you want a stage, be it you want to be in your home, be it you want a classroom, be it you just want to live and demonstrate that. If you don't know who you are, then others will define you. And the danger with that is that individuals will have their own definition of you. And so you will be different people, different person to different people at different times. It's like schizophrenia. We want to be able to settle in who we are and not to be falling for anything. You must stand for something. And today I'm inviting you to stand for you. Do the work that is required to get to know you. And so I have an assignment for you. I want you to write a letter to yourself. Dear self, I see you, and write what you see. I know you. Write what you know about you. I accept you. What is it about you that you have been rejecting that you may just want to accept for a minute? What is that one thing that you know that, ooh, I know this about myself, but I'm afraid to share it because maybe people will not accept me. So I'll just continue to pretend to be someone else. It is time to unmask. It is time to just be you, the true you, the real you, and F everything and everyone else who is not in acceptance of that. It is time for you to remove the stress and the burden. It is time for you to stop bending and contorting and dancing to the beat of someone else's drum. Because if they change that rhythm, self-leaders, and you are not familiar with that rhythm, you will be lost. And they will change the rhythm based on how they're feeling. You have some people, they'll hail you today and they'll nail you tomorrow. And if you're not strong enough, then you'll be down a slippery, dark hole in space. Because it is human nature to hail and to nail. And so today they will love you and tell you you're amazing, you're awesome. And because you're human, tomorrow you may slip, tomorrow you may fall. And what happens is when you are no longer meeting their needs, then it is time for them to nail you. Nailing you mean that they're removing that crown of awesomeness and they're giving you something bitter. They're labeling you with something that's bad. So whilst you were awesome yesterday because you were dancing to the beat of their drum, today you may not be as awesome as you were yesterday because you're human. And when they decide to change that and replace that for a crown of thorns, self-leaders, what will you do then? What will you do? What will you do when others choose to remove that beautiful crown and replace it with a crown of thorns from your head? If you don't know who you are and what you stand for, if you don't know, your flaws, if you're not accepting of yourselves, then how can others accept you? Because when we don't accept ourselves, what we demonstrate into the world is sheer insecurity. And people will sniff that out like a dog. And then you become a puppet and they pull your strings. It is time for you to be able to know yourself enough that if a label comes at you, you can say, oh no, sweetie, that's not me. I don't know what you're seeing or what is being reflected. I'm open to hearing the feedback, but I will not own that and accept that because it's not who I am at my core. It will allow you to develop a tough skin because you won't be everything to everyone. Some people like coffee, some people like tea, and we're not for everyone, and that's okay. It allows them to choose. But if you have that pleaser, saboteur that's speaking to you all the time, what happens is that you sacrifice self. You sacrifice who you are, losing self. So we want to be able to trust that inner guidance, spirituality, the connection to God, the connection to the Holy Spirit, the connection to your Creator, whatever you see your higher being as. Are you able to trust that? But you must be willing to do the work. Write that letter to yourself. Alrighty. So, trust that yourself will provide you with all the tutoring that you need. Trust that life is a classroom that will continue to provide you with opportunities you need to master all of the lessons. So we want to take the highs and the lows and we want to see them as opportunities to master the lessons that we need. Trust that when you're going through the lessons of life and you're taking these different courses, that you cannot fail. Why? Because at any moment in time you can hit reset. Because today can be the day that you decide that no more. I will no longer be dancing to your drum, sweetie. I'll be beating my own. Because that's the kind of rhythm that I like. And then next year I can say, I don't like that rhythm anymore. I want to dance to another rhythm. And that is in and of itself is empowering. So self-leaders, you may have believed that you had to take a class or a course to discover the tools of spiritual mastery. Today, I want you to be willing to work with the tools that you have. Know yourself as a divine being. See yourself as connected to God. Accept yourself, even if you don't do it well on today's lesson. Give yourself some grace that you can do it all over again tomorrow. Be yourself, that loving and compassionate being that you know yourself to be. And here is your affirmation for today. Are you ready? Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Because we're dancing to the beat of our own drum. We are. We are rewriting that story that someone else wrote for us, and we were living in that story. We're going to be the producer and the director now. And we're going to also have a lead role. We're going to be doing all that. Why? Because we can. And when you do, self-leaders, you are settling for more. So here is your affirmation for today. Today, I am devoted, love that word, devoted, to studying and mastering the steps towards spiritual mastery. Today, I am devoted to studying and mastering the steps towards spiritual mastery, because I know that I don't need validation, that I don't need confirmation. No permission needed, because just as I am more than enough. And so I am willing to master the spiritual aspect of myself, because that means that I would have attained self-mastery. And when I do, I'm settling for more.